we go. Let's remember the production tab this time. We have Heusa up 1-0, and in the top right corner we have Franscar in the yellow pieces, currently struggling to get into this game. In the bottom part we have Heusa, who is up 1-0 and only needs to win one more match to beat Franscar. The map is going to be Taucross, which is a 3-player map, and it's actually also asymmetrical. So it's a very unique map, to say the least, but it's somewhat balanced, I would say, still, according to starting positions, by adding certain features. I'm not going to try and get too deep into that. This map is an old fan favorite from Brood War, and was also quite asymmetrical there, and we've kind of kept that feature for some nostalgic reasons and for maybe some other reasons that are unknown to us at the moment. Maybe if we made it perfectly symmetrical, then there would be some issues, so we're just sticking with the Brood War, hoping it will serve as well. We have a very early pull from Heusa, which is interesting versus Protoss. He's going to put on some pressure. He chose this map, and it's 3-player too, so it's not too difficult to find your opponent, but he does not know where he is yet. He did not see where this probe came from either, because the Overlord had not seen him yet. But he will scout him first, so whenever there's gonna be some early Zerglings out, which there may be, they will be able to go to the right direction after a while at least. I think this Overlord will get here quite soon. But we have a gateway first from Franscar, and this is one of those builds that you would not normally see in Brood War, and probably not in StarCraft 2 either, even though it's been a while since I followed the StarCraft 2 scene too much. And this is an interesting build because you do now have Chrono Boost unlocked after you make Gateway if you upgrade your Nexus, which means that you can get a lot of Zealots out pretty quickly, which means this is not as risky as it was in Brood War, where you would like the Forge and the Cannon first. So we're gonna have 2 Gateways out now, and these are some very early links though. He really needs to get these Zealots out as quickly as possible and upgrade this Nexus to get that Chrono Boost unlocked to churn out the Zealots, but he's trying to stall the Zerglings for as long as possible with this drone, doing a good job with that, so the Zerglings only come in one at a time, getting an extra pylon just to be safe, and also I like placing the pylon in such a manner that it's more difficult to surround this pylon. Ooh, he's gonna lose a probe there. Not the biggest of losses. Here comes one Zealot, and he needs to position it well. He's gonna get it partially surrounded with his one Zergling, but Franscar pulling probes there in the right moment. Yes, gets a couple of them out, and now he has the Chrono Boost unlocked. The Washington Monument is in place, and he should be safe against his Zerglings, but he needs to position his Zealots correctly. There we go. He's trying to make it work. He'll get it there somewhere. Okay, there we go. Oh, he's actually moving out now with the weakened one. I don't know if I agree with that. He can actually get us around on this Zealot, and he will, and gets a free Zealot for his efforts. No, he doesn't. He pulls it back in time. Is he gonna get the Zealot? No, he doesn't. And Heusa in the meantime is double expanding. Quite normal if you see that your Protoss friend is trying to be greedy and go for an early fast expand. But this is a little bit more difficult to hold now because he did go for a gateway expand instead of a forge fast expand. You still want to get your forge out at some point anyways, because you do want to... Okay. Tratten upp. Sorry about that. Tratten upp. If there's any Norwegian viewers out there, you probably heard that. But anyways, well, you heard it anyway, but you didn't understand what it means. Oh, and he's gonna get the Zerglings into the main, and he's just gonna respawn by counterattacking. That's very interesting. These... Okay, but he's getting some Zealots here, losing one probe, and gets 2 Zerglings, actually. That's quite good. Yes, this one Zealot should be fine. And in the meantime, though, these Zealots are going to force a lot of defenses from Heusa, or they should. He's getting a Spinecrawler. He's supply... No, he's not supply blocked at the moment. He's getting a lot of Zerglings. But he's got a lot of bases to harass, and he needs to get the Zerglings instead of the Spinecrawlers at the moment, and he is, because you need to be mobile in your defenses when you stretch out this far as he is. And the Zealots are going to start spacking this hatchery and targeting it. No, trying to get some Zergling kills. Not enough Zerglings to deal with this, and this Spinecrawler trying to reposition itself. I guess the Zealots could just move to another base once it burrows. Trying to get us around on the Spinecrawler, doesn't really get it. The Zerglings are there as well, but there's just not enough Zerglings, not enough defenses for Heusa to hold this many Zealots. And his own Zerglings didn't do that much. Oh, they're actually still... No, I thought they were still alive. That was just an Overlord. Bringing the Queen, that's going to help a lot. The Queen does a lot of damage to Zealots, or just in general, but they seem to do a lot of damage versus Zealots. All the Zealots are almost dead, but he's managed to keep them all alive, but now they're gonna fall very quickly unless he rifts out of there. I don't know if he has the energy for a rift. He knows about that because he did it last game, but I think he's gonna lose all of these Zealots. I'm not gonna say these Zealots didn't do their job. Sure, they didn't really kill anything, but they did force out so many Zerglings, and all those Zerglings were drones that Heusa would have wanted. Water is very good when you talk a lot. So we're gonna have the second Calderian Citadel, which is the upgrade for the Nexus to get that Chrono boost out. In the meantime, we have muscular augments. There we go. On Heusa's part, and that's gonna get some speedy Hydralisks out. And you basically need that versus slow Zealots. When the Zealots go fast, though, you want to get those Hydras into Lurkers, because quick Zealots can deal with Hydralisks unless you have a really high number of Hydralisks. Also, shoutouts to Izeel who made this map. Yeah, looks very pretty. So we have some more Zealots coming in here, doing some pressure on the natural. Is going to be now Heusa, which is not very well saturated. In Starbow, you want to saturate your bases, and right now I'm going to try and do something. No, I guess not. Sorry, I had December's Com here, who is one of the Starbow developers. Okay, he's rifting out there. It's one of the Starbow developers who might want to try and co-cast with me now. And we've been co-casting together, and that's usually worked well with our settings when it comes to the sound. So maybe I should try and call him for the next game and see how that works. Oh, big lag there. Okay, there we go. Whew. Almost got a heart attack there. I don't want to drop out of this game. So, at the time, they're both very similar. He did save all those Zealots. He has still a lot of Zealots. He really needs to be taking up to something. It seems the High Templars is going to be the choice, but I don't know if there's going to be up early enough. And also, okay, so very soon we're going to have fast Zealots, but we have a lot of Banelings incoming. Banelings do a lot of damage versus the shields of the Zealots, and are actually very effective as taking off Zealots, especially when they are slow. So this attack from Heusa might actually do a lot of damage. He did not want to sacrifice the Banelings to the buildings. He wants to kill the Zealots. Wow, that's effective. That was a lot more effective than I thought. He should have split up those Zealots, I guess. And yeah, no storm out yet. The tech tree was a little bit late for Franscar, and this attack from Heusa very well calculated, and may just, I was gonna say may just kill him, but now they're moving back. Well, of course, yeah, there's fast Zealots out. So the Zealots are going to trickle in one at a time, trying to force this small squad of Hydralisks that are left out, and he will be able to do so, but he lost a lot of his army. And again, this game is going to stabilize a little bit. That's another feature of Starbow that's I see a lot, is that games tend to have more small engagements that last longer, and very rarely does one engagement end the game, especially in the mid game. It's usually a combination of many engagements that wins you the game. And we have now Storm on the way. And he really should be chrono boosting that out. I hope he does soon, because he really needs Storm right now. There's so many Hydralisks on the way, so much production capacity for Heusa, and so little for Franscar at the moment, I feel. And again, he's going to pressure these two gateways, and they're going to go down, and there's very little Franscar can do about it. He's just going to have to hold for as long as possible. Hopefully Storm can finish, trying to hide the High Templars as far back as possible. More Banelings incoming for those Zealots. Going to do a lot of damage to the Zealots. Man, what has happened to Banelings? They are doing very well versus Zealots at the moment, and he's just going to morph an Archon instead, because the Storm just takes too long to finish. Not sure if it's the right choice, but it seems like the desperate choice. Right now he really wants a couple of Storms and not an Archon, and the Natural's going to go down, and it looks like Heusa is going to take the game number 2 as well, giving this 2-0 victory versus Franscar, who's trying to beat him with slow and methodical play, but it hasn't really worked out. Heusa's aggressive style has been too much for Franscar, and I don't really see any way out of this. And there we have it. Heusa is going to go off victorious versus Franscar.